Welcome to part 6. So let's get started with round 36. Chain 4, treble into the same space. Chain 2, 1, 2. Now treble into the next second treble. 1, 2, into this one. Chain 1, 5 trebles into the next space. We are going to create a popcorn into this space. So first we have to work the 5 trebles. And then we create our popcorn. Make sure to not grab the first treble, but the one from the 5, the first one of the 5. And then chain 1 and treble into the next treble, right into this one. Chain 2 and shell into the old shell. So 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles into the same space. So before we go on, I want to explain to you what happened here. You know how filet crochet is done. A regular cell is treble, chain 2 and treble, right? This would be the bottom row. So what happened here, it's like a filet crochet cell with a popcorn stitch inside. So I simply added in the middle here a popcorn stitch. Okay, I find that chain 1 before and after the popcorn gives the cell a normal look, like doesn't tug too much. That's why I keep those chain 2 in there and I add a popcorn stitch inside. So this is basically how we're going to work all our popcorns all the time. It will have a treble, a chain 1 in front, and a chain 1 and a treble behind it. Now we can continue. Chain 2. And we're gonna keep decreasing for the first section of trebles and for the last one. And in the middle one, we're gonna keep increasing in the same way as we did in the last part. So let's work the trebles. Skip the first treble and then work the next ones up to the last one. Obviously, we wouldn't work the last treble either. So as long as you have your increases and decreases in the right places, you do not need to count those trebles. Chain 2. And for the next section, we increase. So 1 treble in the next space, treble in each of the next 3 stitches. So nothing new here, everything just like before. And this is going to be the manner in which you're going to work this section of the stitch pattern till we run out of all the trebles. Chain 2. And let's decrease the number of stitches for the last section of trebles. Okay, so I'm done with these trebles. Now chain 2, work a shell on top of the old shell. So 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles into that chain 2 space. So nothing new, is just a lot of repeating the same things over and over, but you know how practice makes perfect. Okay, I'm going to show you again the popcorn here. Chain 2. After the shell there will always be a chain 2 space because you are preparing the space for the next round, and in those spaces you'll always have a popcorn stitch. All right, so after the chain 2 we have to work a treble into the next second treble, so 1 2. Now this, the treble, the chain 2 and the treble, makes a filet crochet cell. So chain 1 and work your popcorn in here out of 5 trebles. The popcorns will always have 5 stitches in this pattern. So nothing complicated, just a lot of focus and attention. So chain 1 and complete the cell with a treble into the next treble right here. Chain 2 and work a new shell on top of the old shell. Now I believe you are very capable of working this round without me from now on. Just keep repeating in pattern. I know you know, but just in case, we end this round with half double crochet into the top chain stitch of our first treble. Round 37. Chain 4, treble into the same space, chain 2, skip next treble and treble into the next treble. Now we need a popcorn into this space, so chain 1, work the 5 trebles first and then you'll create your popcorn. Chain 1 and treble into the next treble. Chain 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Skip the whole cell with the popcorn and work a treble into the next second treble. So it would be like this: 1 treble and second treble. So that's how it's correct to say. Treble into the next second treble. Make sense? Now work another popcorn into the next space. So chain 1 and work your trebles. Alright, 5 trebles are done, and let's make the popcorn. Here, chain 1 and treble into the next treble. Chain 2, 1 2, shell on top of the old shell. So 2 trebles, chain 2 and 2 trebles into that chain 2 space. So the only new thing that happens in this round is this chain 7 space. Everything else should go according to the pattern. Like if you look at it, there will be a popcorn on this side of this popcorn and on that side of that popcorn. And then we continue with our trebles. So chain 2, skip next space, skip next treble, and work trebles into each of the next, I think, 11 stitches. Chain 2, we're going to increase the stitches in the middle, these ones. So treble into the next space, treble into next 5 stitches, and treble into the next space. So chain 2, skip the first treble, treble into each of the next 11 stitches, chain 2, shell into the old shell. So chain 2, treble into the next second, 1, 2, into this one. And then you're ready to repeat from the beginning, continue in pattern all the way around and end the round with half double crochet into that first treble. Round 38. So all our rounds will start the same way with the shell, space, and then popcorn. So chain 4, treble into this same space, chain 2, treble into the next second treble, 1, 2 here, and then we have to work a popcorn into the next space right here. Chain 1, let's work our popcorn. Chain 1, treble into the next treble. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the next space right here. Chain 4 and skip the next popcorn and treble into the next treble. And then popcorn into the next space. Chain 1 and treble into the next treble, and then chain 2, because there's always a chain 2 space after the popcorn, and work a shell into the old shell. So this is the only new thing that happens in this stitch pattern repeat. Everything else you know how to keep going. And from the chain 2 space in the beginning here, you're ready to repeat this whole section around till the end. Round 39. Already started with half shell and then chain 2 space, and then a new filet crochet cell with a popcorn inside into the space of the previous round. Immediately after this, follow with chain 4, single crochet into the next space, into the next single crochet, into the next space, a total of 3 single crochets, and chain 4, and work a treble into the next second, 1, 2, into here, and continue with the popcorn, and then with chain 2 space, and then a shell on top of the other shell, of the old shell. So this is done, and then chain 2, we work this space. So I worked the trebles here, and then after the first shell you're ready to repeat from the chain 2 at the beginning all around and end the round with half double crochet in the first treble. Round 40, start the same as previous rounds with half shell, chain 2, and then the popcorn into that space, followed by chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into the next space, into each of the next 3 single crochets, and into the next space. So you're gonna have to have a total of 5 single crochets here, and then chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and continue in pattern, followed by that filet crochet cell with the popcorn inside, and work the stitches accordingly, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. Don't forget about the spaces in between, they all have chain 2. And this is what you should have once you have worked the stitches, and then go start a new repeat and go around like that, and end here with a half double crochet to end the round. Round 41, I already started with half shell and chain 2 space after the shell here, popcorn into the space from the previous round, and chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip the popcorn, treble into the next treble, chain 1, work a popcorn into the next space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's work the popcorn here. Chain 1 and treble into this same space, and then chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip the first single crochet and work single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into this space, work a treble, a chain 1, make your popcorn out of 5 trebles, create your popcorn. Make sure to not catch the first one, but this one, the first of the 5. Chain 1 and treble into the next treble here. And then chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and work a treble into the next treble here. Chain 1 and again a popcorn into the next space. So I will explain in just a second what's going on here. You probably already can predict what's going on here, but my job is to tell you anyway. Okay, chain 1 and close this filet crochet cell with a treble into the next treble. Now I'm running out of the first skein here. Okay, chain 2 and work the shell into the old shell. All right, so this is what's going on. The first little diamond shape is ending here, but we start new ones to either side of the first one. And with the next round, we're gonna have to repeat what's going on into this window here. Well, we'll do it together anyway, because since this is a detailed tutorial, I don't mind showing you because I'm anyway working these rounds too. So let's continue. So here, you know, chain 2, decrease these stitches. Instead of 5, you're gonna have 3. Here we know how to work. Chain 2 and then increase the stitches here. Chain 2, decrease the stitches for the next section. Chain 2 and work the shell on top of the old shell. Chain 2, treble into the next second treble, 1, 2 into here, and then continue with a chain 1 and work your popcorn into this space, and then you're gonna have to repeat everything from the chain 7 from this one here. So you have to be really careful to not miss a step, because there's a little bit of thing going on here. So let's take our time and do not rush. Pay attention to what you're doing and repeat everything around. We're gonna meet here. I just ended round 41 with a half double crochet into that first treble. And this concludes part 6 for Diana dress. I will see you in the next part with new instructions for the next rounds. Thank you for watching.